Hello, I'm Greg Reisner, and I've been investigating the paranormal for over 15 years. I've stayed at several hotels and motels in America over the years. I've always wondered if there were any spirits in the room that I was staying in. So I thought I would take my pendant along with some paranormal equipment to investigate one hotel for one night to see if there was any paranormal activity in the room. All right, here we go. Room 225 is the one for tonight. If the keys work. That one does. Oops. Alrighty. Little different than what I had seen before. So there's a big screen TV. Holy cow, back it up. There we go. Little couch. Oh, there's a TV. Wow. I'm going to have to do better on that one. Microwave, mini fridge, that's the pull-out couch, and there, the other TV for the living room, double beds, a nice bathroom. Holy cow. And mirrors galore, double. Really no view, maybe a view out front, right over the front. Interesting, that's all right though. And a little closet, but pretty decent for the hotel for tonight. Oh, there's a little, it's a drawer. Interesting little recycling thing. Cool. Plan for next door. Everything. All right. So we'll be back in a minute with a rundown of the stuff. All right, we're back again for another adventure. This time we're in Auburn Hills, Michigan. At it has 4 stories to it, and I'm not sure, probably 200 rooms-ish. Not very packed tonight, but it had been packed in the past. And I've always wanted to come back to this place to do a little investigating, I guess you could say. There is outdoor furniture, there's a bar downstairs, Wi-Fi, free parking, front desk stuff, there's an ATM, baggage storage, cleaning service, dry cleaning, photocopying, general stuff, air conditioning, that's always a nice thing. A convenience store, heating, elevator, family rooms, an indoor pool, a spa with chairs, and all that other good stuff. Like I said, it got a 8.0, very good rating out of 124 views, and it also has free breakfast, private bathrooms, yes. It's very nice because it's a double bed, it's a suite room. You know, I'm sitting on the couch that has its own TV that this pulls out into a couch where it's got the 2 double beds. So it's very nice, but like I said, something happened here at this particular hotel back in the day. It was about 5 or 6 years ago, and I'm going to go into that later tonight. But I'm very curious to see what I'll find out tonight for the one night. We'll see if we get something. So stick around, and I'll be right back. Okay, here we are again. Probably about 6 to 8 hours later. And I told you back then that this was a very important investigation or place for myself, is because back 6 to 8 years ago, the place looked totally different, as far as the layout and everything like that. So it still makes me wonder if this is the same place, right? But and the surroundings have changed a lot too, so it's really hard to grasp of what how everything was back then, as I remember it. Because that's back when I didn't have a pendant. All I had was dowsing rods, and I'd gotten a lot of answers back then, I guess you could say, per se. And I think what really happened was the second night, because I'd booked the whole weekend, and the kids ended up taking off after the first day because they needed to get back home to where they were. And it was just me and the hotel room. So what ended up happening that night was very strange and bizarre, because I was laying in the bed, and you could see there used to be like a cutout back here, not like a solid wall. So you could see like the door. And what had happened was I was kind of dreaming, but I heard some commotion going on, and I couldn't get up because it was almost that sleep paralysis. But I could actually see like the door was open, and I could see somebody standing in the door talking to somebody. And the more I kept, I even tried to roll over to try forget about it, but it was just, it was just loud enough that it was distracting me. And every time I would look over there, it's one of those that I had asked my spirit guide Veronica later on about it, and she admitted that it was her. And every time I kept looking out the door, there were like more and more people. And what it turned out to be was that these people were souls that had died that wanted me to cross them over at some given point, because all I could hear was that we need his help, we need his help. And all she kept saying was, he needs to go to sleep, he's got a big travel day tomorrow, so he can't help you now, and so on and so on, and come back later, or, it was just something along those lines. But every time I tried to get up, I couldn't, and all I could do was look with my head. All I could move was my head to look towards the door, and all I could see was the light from the hallway coming in. So that was kind of interesting, and it still made me wonder if there's something in this particular hotel. I talked to the guest at the front, the check-in guest, right, or the check-in clerk. There we go, yeah. And he said that nothing has really bizarre has gone on here, or whatever the case may be. But he hasn't worked here really that long, so hey, a couple years, whatnot. But he's familiar with the area, and you would figure he would know something, right? But anyway, we're gonna get some. We got our tools of investigation here, so we will get set an audio going on the audio recorder for the evening for the next 5-6 hours or so that everybody's here. So this would be night 2 in Auburn Hills, Michigan. So we'll set that down there. We also have the REM pod again. So we'll set that on, we'll set that there. So we have that, and we have the cat ball again. Everybody loves the cat ball, except for some of our investigations, right? So we have that going, and of course it doesn't. Of course it likes to roll, doesn't it? Yeah. And then the flashlight. They all seem to like the flashlight too. But it's so hard to get it right at that point. Maybe that'll work. We shall see. And we all have the ghost tube app. So we'll get that going. One, two, and no. Shot. Interesting.
Shot.
Yeah, okay. Get a word right off already, huh? All right, we got our 3 things. We're all going there. And we got our pendant, which probably is interfering with the REM pod, right? So first off, I want to ask if Veronica is here. Veronica is here, so that's a good thing. Veronica, do you remember this place? Yes. Because I told them about the dream that I did have. Or a dream, I don't know if it was a dream or whatnot, but you were at the door telling people about how they needed help and stuff. Yes, okay. Interesting. All right. So, we got our stuff going there.
Hate.
Hate. Interesting. Hate came up. So is there anybody here tonight? Yes, okay. Picking up on a guy. Are you a male? Yes. Have I had talked to you before? Did I talk to you before? No? Okay. Because there used to be a lake out back, and the thing of it, yeah, you knew about the lake out back, and it seemed like at one given time, it was like
Hate.
Hate. It was like a dumping ground for like people when they killed them. Yeah. So you must have been around here back in the heyday then, huh? Let's say 1920s, 30s. Yeah. Is that what time period you're looking at? No, but that's when things were going on, I guess you could say. No?
Flames.
Flames. So is there a fire in this room? Yes. That was quite interesting. So you never know. With places like this, you don't know if it was the hotel or if there might have been like maybe a farmhouse here or just an abandoned yard to where people May have had a bonfire at one point. Yeah, maybe a bonfire. So that's kind of interesting. So we got a male. Um, are you, how old are you? Are you in your 20s? No? 30s? 30s? Yes. So a 30s male. Are you about 6 foot? About 6 foot tall? No? Are you taller than 6 foot? Taller than 6 foot?
Forward.
Yes. Forward. So you're probably about maybe about 6'2". You about 6'2" then? A male, 6'2". 20s or 30s? 30s? Yeah. Okay.
Hate.
So is there's somebody you hate? Yes. Because did they do something to you then? Yeah, hate somebody because he did something to him, huh? Did you die in this vicinity? Okay. It's temperature variation, so the temperature's kind of messing up a little bit. So they did something to you in this particular area. Does the fire have to do anything with it too? Now, did you die by? Yeah, slow down. Did you die by the fire too then? Yes. So did somebody kill you within this vicinity? No. So you had already been dead when they brought you to this area? Yes. And then they set your body on fire? Yes. Do you have like a common name that we can call you by? Yeah. Does your first name start with an A? No. Does it start with a B? B? Okay. So is yours a common name like Bob? Is your name Bob? No? Bob. I guess that would be more like a Robert. No. But a B. Oh, Bill maybe, huh? Is it Bill? Yes. So we have a Bill that's in his 30s, about 6'2", died somewhere else in the town probably-ish, and was set on fire in this particular area. Because it wasn't a hotel back then, was it, Bob? Or Bill?
Forward.
Bill? No. Was it just like an empty piece of ground? Yeah. Okay. I don't know what you mean by forward, so but hopefully you can leave us your audio voice later on. It's weird we're getting communication, but nothing as far as anything with our trigger stuff, you know. A little bit with the REM pod there. Cat ball, nothing, and flashlight, nothing. So that's kind of strange. Kind of strange. So Bob, are you stuck here then? Yes. So were you doing something bad that you feel like you can't cross over then? Yes. Is it something that maybe you could talk to somebody about? Yes. So anyway, there's a spirit reverend that I talk with that helps people like you, Reverend Ewing, and he can talk to you about this situation and hopefully be able to clear it up. So it sounds like you guys have a lot to talk about, and I'm sure, yeah, big yes there. So Bill, hopefully he'll be able to help you out, Bill, and clear anything up that you might have, any questions, whatnot. So is there anything else that you'd like to talk about? No? Okay. So hopefully you guys can talk about what's going on and get things taken care of. So I'm going to have Veronica clear out this session so that we don't leave our portal type over. So Veronica will do this kind of a motion. Thank you, Veronica. And once everything stops, our portal will be closed, or session will be ended, so we won't be able to do anything more. So we don't want to leave anything open, so we don't want anything else to cross over to this realm. We had our temperature go off again a little bit. Kind of strange, not really an active night, but you know what, that's good in some cases, because you know, you don't want it active all the time, right? You'd like to think that you can be able to come to a hotel and not have things flying all over the place, but I guess it's one of those, how realistic would that be anyway, right? So anyway, that's another place. So we were talking to Bill, who was a 30-year-old guy, about 6'2". Sounds like he might have been into some shady kind of business or something, that he's very hateful that somebody killed him, and he probably has a good idea who has done it now, but it is pretty bad when you think about it. I guess that whoever did this to him, you know, set him on fire. So that's kind of crazy. So hopefully he'll be able to get his things worked out and moved on, and not having to cause any more problems or issues. So this is Greg again. So hopefully you had a good time, or you learned something, or whatever the case may be. So hopefully you'll tune in again, and we'll leave it at that, and we'll just go on to the next place. All right. Thanks for tuning in, and we will talk to you later. Have a good night. Okay, it's the next day, morning-wise anyway. Nothing spectacular happened overnight. No weird dreams, no knocking, nothing. Just a pleasant night, which one would hope, right? So the only thing is to go over the audio from overnight to see if there's anything as far as voices or whatnot. So that'd be it for now. So I'll leave some comments after this if I do find something. So if not, then we will enjoy and go on to the next hotel or next place. So thanks for joining me, and hope you enjoyed the show. And any comments or any places that you'd like to see, or for me to go to, or just anything in general. Anyway, thanks for joining me, and I will see you next time. All right, enjoy. Well, those are the results. It's hard to figure out who I was communicating with, if any. The lack of information or where this person had come from makes it hard. My main goal was to see if there were any spirits present. Let's have a conversation about this and any questions that you might have.